and welcome to the very first of our RAS200 premieres. My name's Dr. Sheila Kanani, and I'm the Education, Outreach and Diversity Officer here at the Royal Astronomical Society. And for the past 6 years, I've been the RAS staff lead on the RAS200 project. Over the last few years, we have been working with some incredible partners, and we have created 6 amazing videos for you to see to learn about what the projects have been doing. Part of this premiere series, we will also include question and answer sessions with some of the project partners. And today it is the wonderful Hettie from Girlguiding that I'd like to introduce. What we are going to do is premiere these films once per month till the end of the year. So if you enjoy this one, do keep an eye out for the next one. Okay, hi Hettie, how are you? Can you please introduce yourself and tell us what your role is at Girlguiding?
Of course. Hi, my name's Hettie Hartnall and I'm the Corporate Partnerships Officer at Girlguiding UK. It's really such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. I guess I should explain myself a little bit. The reason that I'm able to join you today is that during the COVID period, we've had the really exciting opportunity to cover some different roles. So I currently look after some of our different partners alongside my original corporate fundraising role, which also includes the wonderful Royal Astronomical Society. So yeah, it's really lovely to be here.
Oh, it's great that you could take part. And of course, we are doing this over the internet because we are still during this lovely pandemic. So it's great that we can still chat to each other using modern technology. So how long have you worked for Girl Guides, and how has your role changed as you've been there?
Yeah, of course. So I've been at Girlguiding for just over 1.5 years now, which surprises me. It's gone in a flash. It was actually my first charity role as well. So I was actually working over in corporate before I came over to Girlguiding. So it's been the most perfect first charity role. But yeah, as you said, my role has changed a little bit. So obviously I was originally a corporate fundraising officer. So I look after bringing in new corporate organisations to partner with Girlguiding. But obviously due to COVID, I've now been able to pick up more of an account management role and look after a few of our wonderful already present partners, which has been really, really exciting.
That's fantastic. And it's been really exciting to watch how Girlguiding has evolved in the few years that we've been working with you, particularly the badges and the kind of change in focus for the badges. So what was the process behind this sort of overhaul?
Yeah, so well, obviously Girlguiding as a charity has been running for over 110 years. So obviously during that time, our national programme, which is obviously the list of activities that you need to undertake to earn your coveted Girlguiding badge, you know, the badges we're famous for. It had really kind of evolved and developed over time, and we knew that we kind of needed to be more reflective of the topics and skills and issues that girls really care about today. 2014, we started the process to completely overhaul our national programme, which I think I'm right in saying was the biggest investment in girls' education outside of national curriculum. So it was a huge take. So obviously as an organisation, we're really dedicated to being girl-led, and so obviously very naturally, we had to reach out to the girls within the Girlguiding community and ask them what it was that they cared about, what they wanted to learn about, and then try and formulate a programme from how they responded. So obviously, it was a continual kind of development, writing, testing, editing, and it took about 3 years to complete the process to overhaul the programme. But obviously what came out of it was some incredible badges that really reflect girls' issues today. And that launched in summer 2018. And I actually have some stats for you because the reaction so far has been incredible. We're so pleased with the way it's gone down with our membership so far. So to date, we've had 859,000 badges completed. We've had 4,483,176 group activities completed over the 2 years, which is, yeah, we never expected that kind of reaction. So that's been really
bigger than sort of previous badges, kind of. impact. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. So how did the space badge come about, and who suggested, or how was it suggested? And obviously we know that you worked with us, but how was that initial proposal come about?
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, as with all the badges, it came from the girls, and that's the most exciting part of it. We know it's from pure, authentic data that shows that girls are genuinely interested in space, and we produced the badge to be able to reflect that. So obviously we asked of all ages what it was they wanted to learn about, and wherever possible we then developed the badge to be able to deliver that in a fun and engaging way. So obviously the space theme came out really, really strongly from the brownie age, so that's 7 to 10-year-olds. And obviously that's why we then developed the wonderful badge which we have with you.
So I never realised that it was so driven by the girls. I think that's really important and really exciting. With the space badge, can you tell us some of the activities or some of the tasks that the girls have to do to get their badge?
Of course. So there are 3 main tasks that the girls have to complete to be able to earn their coveted badge. So there's the first one is about constellations, the second is around sunspots, and then the third is about astronaut training. So within the constellation theme, they're asked to use the plough to locate the North Star, and then they're given some tasks to then kind of further research all the wonderful different constellations there are and learn some of the names. And then within the second task is really exciting. They're challenged to create a sunspot viewer, and they're given a guide of how they can use general household bits and bobs to create this and view the sunspots in a safe way, obviously. And then the third one, which is my favourite, they get to design their own astronaut training, which includes staying fit, considering the astronaut's diet and what equipment they'll need to be able to get to the moon or wherever they fancy safely. Yeah, it's a really lovely varied. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's sadly I to get to complete my space badge, but I'm very jealous because it sounds very fun.
Or while we're in lockdown, you'll have to give it a go if the weather ever improves. And how many of these space badges have been completed, or how many girls have interacted with it?
Yeah, of course. So again, I have some more stats for you. So the pickup has been really phenomenal. So as of June 2020, we have 1,202 of the badges in progress, and we have 4,420 completed.
Wow.
It's a really fantastic pickup, and it's really interesting actually. We can see there's a marked shift in pickup during lockdown. It was before, but it's gone through the roof during lockdown, which is just testament to the fact that girls have a really unique opportunity to make the most of the time they have to be able to learn new skills and kind of engage in a lovely new topic.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the beauty of lockdown was that even though we're sort of confined to our local areas, the sky is still accessible. And actually at the beginning of lockdown we did have good weather, didn't we? So
yeah,
that was really good. Now obviously the space badge is for the brownie age group. What can the older girls do if they're interested in space? Is there a Girlguiding space badge, or how can they be involved?
So sadly there isn't a guide space badge, afraid, but this is where our partnership with yourselves over at the Royal Astronomical Society and the support that you give us is completely invaluable, because we just couldn't deliver the space activities without you to the girls of all ages. So obviously pre-lockdown, you supported us with allowing us to deliver space activities at some of our UK-based events, which means that we can reach girls of all ages in a really fun and engaging way on site with them. Obviously, sadly, during lockdown, those events haven't been possible, but we hope to find many more kind of virtual ways and obviously other ways that we can continue to engage girls of all ages with space and its possibilities.
Fantastic, yeah. And I know that we have been involved in some sort of challenge badges for the Girl Guides as well, like regional, with the space topic as well. So that's great.
Absolutely.
How have you and the girls, so Girlguiding as an organisation and sort of the individuals and the groups, adapted to the pandemic and to being in lockdown and things? Because normally, obviously, you would actually meet with your team leaders and your other children, the other children in your brownie pack and things like that. So how have you all adapted?
Well, I mean, it's definitely been a learning curve, as I'm sure it has been for all organisations during these very strange times. But obviously the core element of Girlguiding is our face-to-face meetings. During lockdown, these have been fully suspended, obviously for safety. So it has actually given us the opportunity to implement virtual guiding, which has been on our radar for some time, but we've never quite had the optimum opportunity to be able to fully investigate it. So lockdown has given us a specific scenario to put this into action, which is really exciting for our organisation as a whole. So a large part of our virtual offer has been Adventures at Home, which gives girls and volunteers and parents and, to be honest, anyone who fancies trying Girlguiding. It's open to the general public as well, which is really lovely. So it gives them a chance to access games and activities and learning opportunities through like an online hub that we've created on our website. So it's a really lovely feature that we've been able to offer. Beyond that, we've also created Activity of the Day, which is becoming quite synonymous for us at the moment on social media, which is really exciting, where, yes, you've guessed it, we release an activity every day on social media, which has been really exciting. And we were actually really fortunate to co-produce an activity with the wonderful RAS. And through this, we asked girls to mimic actions for how they would walk or engage on different planets depending on the different gravitational pull. And obviously it's just a perfect example of kind of expert knowledge and information being delivered to girls in a really fun way. And obviously I can imagine some real giggles with the girls doing silly walks across the living room floor. The offer that we've implemented through this period we think should really leave like a lasting legacy as well, which is really exciting. So obviously it opens up Girlguiding to girls who perhaps have never been able to access face-to-face guiding for whatever reason. So we really do hope that even post-lockdown we can continue to provide a virtual offer and make it even more accessible to every girl and to every woman.
I guess some really remote places might not have those face-to-face opportunities, but they might have the internet, so that's really
exactly cool. And well, because Girlguiding runs in quite unusual scenarios, so we actually have quite a lot of hospital-based Girlguiding units for girls who are obviously currently unable to leave the facility, and we also have some on army barracks. The virtual offer would mean that girls, even if they were obviously unable to attend a face-to-face meeting, or say if they've been relocated with their barracks, they could still meet their old friends through virtual guiding. So we think that could be a really lovely opportunity to be able to give every girl.
Yeah, that's really fantastic. When you were little, were you a brownie?
I wasn't, I'm afraid. I was a rainbow for all of 10 minutes. Oh. But to be fair, obviously when I was the age of being a brownie, it was very different in terms, you know, the opportunities were available and also the badges. So I think if I was age 7 now, I 100% would be a brownie, because I would be desperate to do some of the badges that are on offer. There's an inventing badge that I'm particularly keen on. There's also a grow your own, which I do think I should earn during lockdown. And of course I want this badge. So yeah, I would definitely be a brownie if I was 7 today.
Yeah, I think I would too, actually. Grow your own sounds very intriguing. I was one of the people that started a vegetable patch during lockdown, so see what happens.
Well done.
With that. Oh dear. So how do you think being involved with the space badge and also the new badges has impacted girls particularly?
I mean, to be fair, so I'm actually a volunteer now as well, so I'm a rainbow volunteer, and I can honestly say that the best way to be able to evaluate the impact these badges have had is just hearing from the girls, hearing the excitement, hearing the giggles. And we actually have some really beautiful quotes of girls who've achieved their space badge, and it just shows how amazing an opportunity it is. So we had a quote from a mum who said, "My daughter has completed the space badge. She wants to be a NASA scientist, so it was her first interest badge that she ever tried. She really enjoyed it, particularly designing the training manual for her new astronauts."
Oh, wow.
We also had a really lovely one, which just kind of shows how the space badge can provide girls with a really unique experience some of them may never have had before. So there's a really interesting quote that we found from a leader of a guide unit who said that some of the guides had never actually left their town. and so hadn't seen stars before. So they absolutely loved looking through a telescope to see Jupiter and the detail on the moon and being told about the different constellations. So
that's incredible.
Amazing, amazing.
It really
thing.
is mind-blowing when you look through a telescope for the first time and you see
Yes.
what looks like a star and is actually Jupiter or something like that, especially if you have grown up in the city like I did and then moving out to the countryside. So that's really, really exciting. How has the badge, particularly the space badge in this instance, impacted the staff and the people that work at Girlguiding?
Well, I mean, I guess for me personally, obviously having not been involved in Girlguiding before I joined, I think the badges have been like an incredible insight into how Girlguiding has evolved as an organisation. And as you said earlier, to be able to understand how truly girl-led, it's led by girls as an organisation, and to see that in full force is really incredible. So yeah, for me personally, I think you just never get tired of hearing girls excitedly telling you about the badges they've done. I know I had one of my rainbows coming up to me in one of my last meetings before lockdown, very proudly telling me how she'd fed her pet rock last night to be able to get that animal love a badge. And stays with you, just that pure joy that these badges can give girls.
Yeah, that's brilliant. You'll have to move up with your rainbow group and then do the space badge with them when they're brownies.
100%. It's already in the works, don't worry.
Do you think the other staff, I know it's quite a hard question because you're speaking on behalf of other staff, but do you think it's sort of ignited a passion for space within the staff members, or sort of a confidence in science or something like that maybe?
Definitely, and I think it's been really interesting because a huge amount of Girlguiding, particularly HQ staff, are actually volunteers as well, which just shows Girlguiding, yeah, once you're in, you're in. You're going to work there and you're going to volunteer there in your spare time. But no, I think it's definitely, I think it provides a really wonderful way for someone who maybe isn't that confident or doesn't know that much about space to be able to engage with it in a really lovely way, and to, as you say, ignite that spark, which then encourages you to look further. And I know I've heard a lot of kind of general chat about we now watch when something exciting is going to happen in the sky and notify each other so we can all go out and watch.
Yeah.
And it's definitely ignited a real interest in our HQ, which is a really lovely thing.
Oh, well, that's fantastic, because it's not just about inspiring young people, it's the adults as well.
It is.
So having this sort of new love for astronomy, if you could visit anywhere in space, where would you like to go?
I had a really good think about this question, and as a space and the band Muse fan, I think I'd be very intrigued to go visit the supermassive black hole that's apparently at the centre of the Milky Way. Yeah. I think that would be amazing. Saw the reports that came out about the changes in May, and the artist's rendition of it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. So if I could go anywhere, I just want to go and gaze at that.
Oh, that would be cool. Try not to get sucked in. You might end up somewhere else in the universe.
I know. Or maybe I'll end up inside the Muse song and then I'll be very happy.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting.
You never know.
I've never met anyone that has wanted to visit a black hole before, particularly not a supermassive black hole. Normally people say planets, you know, different planets and things like that. So that was really cool. That's a very interesting answer.
Glad to be different.
Yeah. So I know that 2020 has been a very unusual year, but what do you think will be next for Girlguiding, and what do you think 2021 might bring?
Oh, it's hard to say. Obviously 2020 has been a roller coaster, good and bad, and I think absolutely we're going to take a lot of learnings from this year. I think this year has been a really amazing opportunity to build an even stronger and more accessible community, and I think we're going to see that continue into 2021, and hopefully we can continue our virtual Girlguiding offer alongside face-to-face and create a bigger, better community. I also have really high hopes for some really exciting events, potentially virtual ones, which can continue to engage obviously our girls, our young women and our wonderful volunteers, and hopefully we can do some wonderful space activities within them. So
yeah, definitely. If you've got any ideas or any plans or anything, you know where to knock on our door. Well,
oh, we will, don't worry.
And keep in touch in terms of how many more young people do that space badge. Next time we check in with you, hopefully it's smashed the sort of 5,000 or 6,000 mark. I mean, that's an incredible number in itself. The badge has not been around that long, and to have that many girls having completed it is really quite special. So
Absolutely. And fingers crossed next time we speak, I'll have done it as well.
Yes, definitely. I'll test you. Thank you so much. That's been fantastic. And take care and do keep in touch with us. And we'll see you I'll test you on how to find the North Star. If you can see the plough, how do you find the North Star? Thank you very much.
It's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much. And yes, we will definitely speak soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Hettie. That was so insightful and so inspirational. I'd love to be a brownie. And now I think it's time to watch the RAS200 Presents Girlguiding premiere. Enjoy.
I come to do my best to be true to myself and develop my beliefs, to serve the Queen in my community, to help other people.
Well, so with 400,000 young members and 100,000 volunteers, Girlguiding is the largest charity for girls and young women in the UK. And we partnered with the RAS, who through the RAS200 programme have provided support to get more girls engaged in STEM subjects, particularly around astronomy and geophysics. So the RAS have supported us in the development of the space badge for brownies. So we have 13,000 brownies have purchased the badge and over 3,000 have already completed it, with about 600 currently in progress as well. And the badge is a really great way to get younger girls involved in astronomy and geophysics. So we know, according to our research, that 52% of girls aged 11 to 21 said that STEM subjects have the image of being more for boys. And more than that, 35% of girls aged 11 to 12 said that there are too few women role models teaching these subjects. And what this partnership allows us to do is to show girls that they can basically get involved in anything they want. They can grow the confidence to become future astronomers or geophysicists. That something that's out of this world actually isn't a million miles away.
What was the coolest thing about doing your space badge for you?
Well, you get to look at stuff you've never looked at before, and you just get to find out stuff you've never even thought existed.
Charlotte, how about you? What was the best thing about it for you?
Probably doing the constellations, because my dad has this app on his phone which can tell you where the constellations are and what they're called and about them.
Phoebe, have you seen these things that show you what all the planets are on these apps?
Yeah, I have, although I haven't got an app. I got a book for my birthday called Seeing Stars, and it's got all the constellations in. There's a really interesting one called the Flamenco Lady, which is quite a weird name as well, but it's actually really interesting.
Why is it interesting?
Because it's got loads of funny parts and it worms its way into other constellations as well.
Well, I think that one of the amazing things about it, and I've seen this happening as part of the recent campaigns, is that it's really encouraging young girls and women to feel as though they can do whatever it is that they want, and there shouldn't be any limitations on that. And in particular, they shouldn't be limited because they are girls and women. So in that respect, absolutely, I think that it's a really important message to send, that they absolutely can pursue careers in STEM and in astronomy if that's what they're interested in. Compared to when I was a brownie 20 years ago, it's changed enormously, and I think it is reflecting the changing perceptions in society about what girls and women should be aspiring to.